You must stop approaching success as though it were a distant favor that may or may not be granted to you. Stop standing outside the gate of opportunity like a petitioner waiting for permission to enter. Success does not respond to hesitation. It does not move toward the man who speaks of his purpose with apology, prepares only when conditions are favorable, and retreats whenever the world fails to offer immediate encouragement. Success begins to recognize you when your conduct announces that you are already preparing a place for it. Act as though the responsibility you desire is already on its way. This does not mean pretending that you possess money, influence, or position that you have not earned. It does not mean living carelessly, spending foolishly, or speaking with empty pride. Acting as if success expects you means developing the habits, judgment, discipline, and emotional steadiness that success will demand when it arrives. Prepare before the invitation. The man who waits for opportunity before becoming ready usually discovers that opportunity has already chosen someone else. The world does not always announce the examination. It watches how you handle the small assignment, the inconvenient duty, the delayed reward, and the promise no one reminds you to keep. These moments reveal whether greater responsibility would be safe in your hands. You are always being observed by consequence. Every careless habit is submitting evidence against your readiness. Every disciplined action is submitting evidence in your favor. The unfinished task, the wasted hour, the unguarded word, and the neglected account may appear unimportant, but together they form the character with which you will meet the future. Success cannot remain where disorder has been permitted to rule. If you expect greater income, begin governing the money already passing through your hands. If you expect leadership, begin controlling your emotions before attempting to direct other people. If you expect important opportunities, begin treating ordinary obligations as though they carry importance. Your present conduct is the rehearsal for your future position. Many men desire advancement while continuing to behave like men who expect defeat. They speak of large aims, yet postpone small actions. They ask others to believe in their plans while privately doubting whether they will persist. They desire cooperation, but their habits communicate uncertainty. They want the world to trust them before they have learned to trust their own word. Do not ask success to believe promises your conduct continues to contradict. Correct the contradiction. Rise at the hour you selected. Complete what you begin. Study the field in which you intend to become valuable. Keep accurate records. Control your speech. Refuse to let temporary mood decide permanent action. These practices may appear ordinary, but success is built through ordinary disciplines repeated with uncommon faithfulness. The man who acts as if success expects him does not wait to feel important before behaving responsibly. He understands that importance is often the result of responsibility accepted before recognition appears. He does not perform for applause. He prepares for command. There is a difference between confidence and performance. Performance tries to make others believe. Confidence begins when you have accumulated enough private evidence to believe yourself. Each promise kept becomes evidence. Each temptation resisted becomes evidence. Each hour used according to purpose becomes evidence. Self-confidence is not shouted into existence. It is built through obedience to decision. You may repeat words of courage, but if your daily conduct remains weak, the subconscious mind will believe the conduct. It accepts what you repeatedly demonstrate. It knows whether you avoid the difficult task, surrender to distraction, and abandon plans when enthusiasm fades. Give the mind a new record. Act today in the manner you would expect from the person you intend to become. Do not wait for the title. Do not wait for wealth. Do not wait for public approval. Character does not require an audience. Ask yourself how the successful version of you would use this hour. Would he complain about conditions or study how to improve them? Would he waste thought upon criticism or strengthen the work being criticized? Would he spend beyond wisdom to appear prosperous or preserve resources for a purpose? Would he avoid the difficult conversation or conduct it with dignity and accuracy? Then act accordingly. This is not fantasy. It is deliberate self-creation. Every action strengthens one identity and weakens another. When you choose order, you weaken the identity of disorder. When you complete a duty, you weaken the identity of postponement. When you speak with decision, you weaken the identity of fear. The person you become is the result of the conduct you repeatedly authorize. Acting as if success expects you also changes the way you approach opportunity. The uncertain man sees opportunity as a rescue. The prepared man sees it as an assignment. The uncertain man grasps, promises too much, and fears losing favor. The prepared man studies the terms, measures the responsibility, and asks whether he can create value. Desperation weakens judgment. Readiness strengthens it. You must never become so hungry for advancement that you accept an opportunity unworthy of your purpose. Success is not merely obtaining more, it is directing more without losing character. Some offers appear profitable but demand that you betray judgment, association, health, or peace. The man who has prepared himself for true success can refuse false success. He does not worship every open door. He examines where it leads. This restraint creates authority. It tells the mind that your future is not dependent upon one person's approval or one favorable event. You may value an opportunity without becoming its servant. The man who believes success is expecting him does not panic when one road closes. He returns to preparation. He knows that capacity is more permanent than circumstance. A lost position cannot remove skill. A refused proposal cannot destroy imagination. A delayed reward cannot erase disciplined habits. Build what remains when conditions change. Knowledge remains. Character remains. Reputation remains. Self-command remains. The ability to create value remains. These are the true possessions from which outward success can be rebuilt. You must also carry expectation correctly. Expectation is not the lazy belief that events will arrange themselves in your favor. It is the disciplined belief that useful effort, governed by definite purpose, will eventually produce opportunity, instruction, or redirection. Expectation works when it enters conduct. If you expect to lead, study human nature. If you expect financial independence, learn the laws of value, saving, investment, and service. If you expect cooperation, become worthy of cooperation. If you expect recognition, improve the work until recognition becomes a reasonable consequence. Hope without preparation is merely pleasant waiting. Expectation with preparation becomes force. It changes the posture, voice, and movement. The man no longer approaches each duty as a burden imposed upon him. He sees it as training for something larger. He does not ask whether the task is beneath him. He asks what quality the task can strengthen. No honest duty is beneath the man who knows how to use it. A difficult assignment may train persistence. A small account may train financial judgment. An unpleasant associate may train emotional control. A period of obscurity may train independence from applause. The unprepared man sees only inconvenience. The expectant man sees rehearsal. Do not waste the rehearsal. Perform the present duty with the standard you intend to carry into the future. If you handle small work carelessly, larger work will not magically make you exact. Greater responsibility magnifies established habit. It does not replace it. The careless man who receives more becomes carelessly powerful. The disciplined man who receives more becomes increasingly useful. Success studies this distinction. You must therefore become exact before exactness is publicly rewarded. Arrive when you said you would arrive. Speak only what you can support. Do not make promises under enthusiasm that discipline cannot fulfill. The successful person's word must carry weight. Every time you speak beyond your ability, you weaken your future influence. Every time you fulfill an agreement, especially when fulfillment becomes inconvenient, you strengthen it. A reputation for reliability attracts opportunities that never reach the unreliable man. People prefer certainty. They remember the person who completes, communicates honestly, and remains calm when conditions change. They bring him more because he reduces risk. Become the person who reduces risk. Do not add confusion to difficulty. Do not bring panic into uncertainty. Do not make others carry the burden of your disorganization. Bring thought. Bring preparation. Bring a clear next step. This is how presence begins to carry success before success becomes visible. The world may still see an ordinary man performing ordinary duties, but within those duties, something uncommon is being built. Judgment is maturing. Confidence is becoming settled. Purpose is gathering force. You are learning to behave without constant reward. This ability separates the temporary enthusiast from the true builder. Anyone can work when the result is immediate. Anyone can speak confidently when others agree. Anyone can remain cheerful when conditions are easy. The real test comes when effort is invisible, recognition is delayed, and doubt speaks louder than encouragement. Act then as if success is still expecting you. Do not interpret silence as rejection. Use it as preparation. The absence of applause gives you freedom to improve without performance. You can make mistakes, correct them, and deepen skill before wider responsibility arrives. Obscurity may be protection. Do not despise it. The man who receives attention before his character is ready may become more concerned with appearance than growth. He begins performing success instead of building it. He spends energy maintaining an image and loses contact with the habits that first gave him promise. Build in silence until substance can carry visibility. When recognition comes, let it discover a man already governed by principle. Your expectation must also survive criticism. The moment you begin behaving differently, some people will question you. They may call discipline pride, confidence, arrogance, and selectivity coldness. Those who have accepted limitation often become uncomfortable when another person begins preparing for more. Do not fight them. Do not explain every change. Let consistency provide the answer. The man who must continually announce his transformation has not yet settled into it. True change becomes quiet. It appears in the completed work, controlled reaction, improved judgment, and reduced need for approval. Your task is not to persuade everyone that success expects you. Your task is to become ready when it arrives. Criticism may still contain instruction. Examine it. If it reveals vanity, correct vanity. If it reveals harshness, improve your manner. If it reveals carelessness, strengthen the work. But reject the suggestion that preparation is foolish merely because the reward is not yet visible. The seed does not abandon its work because the surface remains empty. Growth begins where observation cannot reach. You must become comfortable working beneath the surface. Read when others rest in ignorance. Practice when no one is watching. Save when display would be easier. Think before speaking. Study before deciding. These actions may receive no immediate praise, but they place roots beneath future achievement. Success without roots cannot endure. Expectation also requires patience, but patience must never become passivity. The patient man continues working while time performs its part. The passive man waits for time to perform his work for him. Know the difference. You may not control the exact hour of opportunity, but you control the quality of preparation offered to that hour. You may not determine when another person recognizes your value, but you can continue increasing that value. You may not command immediate results, but you can command today's effort. Return to command. Ask what can be improved now. The proposal can be strengthened. The skill can be sharpened. The account can be corrected. The habit can be trained. The association can be examined. The purpose can be clarified. These things are within reach. Success is often delayed not because life has forgotten a man, but because the man is still becoming capable of carrying the result without destroying it. Greater income demands greater judgment. Greater authority demands greater emotional control. Greater influence demands greater responsibility for words and example. Do not ask only when success will arrive. Ask whether you are becoming safe for success. Would increased money strengthen purpose or enlarge vanity? Would authority improve service or satisfy the need to control? Would recognition deepen responsibility or weaken humility? These questions are not meant to reduce ambition. They are meant to purify it. Ambition becomes powerful when it is joined with service. The man who wishes only to receive may work hard, but his presence carries hunger. The man who intends to create value carries a different force. He seeks opportunity not merely to gain, but to build, improve, and contribute. The world is drawn toward useful ambition. Make your purpose large enough to benefit others. Success responds more readily to the person who solves problems, reduces waste, increases confidence, and creates opportunity beyond himself. Money follows service. Influence follows usefulness. Cooperation follows the man who sees another person's interest as well as his own. Act as though the people you meet may become part of a larger purpose. Treat them with respect. Listen before assuming. Keep confidence. Do not judge value only by present position. A man who appears unimportant today may carry knowledge, loyalty, or opportunity tomorrow. But even if he never does, your treatment of him is still training your own character. Success watches how you behave when no advantage is visible. Courtesy used only for gain is manipulation. Courtesy governed by principle becomes personality. Develop the personality that success can trust. Be warm without becoming weak. Be confident without becoming boastful. Be ambitious without becoming desperate. Be firm without becoming insulting. These balances require practice. They are not acquired through one decision. Each day presents another opportunity to strengthen them. You will occasionally fail. You will react poorly, delay a duty, or allow doubt to influence conduct. Do not turn one mistake into a permanent description. Correct it quickly. The man expecting success cannot afford prolonged self-condemnation. He studies error, makes repair, and returns to training. Regret has value only when it improves the next action. Keep the lesson. Release the punishment. Then continue. Your progress will become visible first in private. You will notice less hesitation before difficult work. You will need less encouragement. Your decisions will become calmer. Your speech will become more exact. You will stop accepting every opportunity and begin selecting according to purpose. These are early signs that success has begun approaching, even if money and recognition have not yet appeared. The outer result is often the final stage. The inner arrangement comes first. And once your habits begin agreeing with your expectation, the next challenge will be to protect that expectation from the delays, reversals, and ordinary disappointments that tempt a man to abandon the identity he has started to build. For acting as if success expects you is easy during a hopeful morning. The greater discipline is to maintain that conduct when the road becomes silent and no evidence appears to confirm that success has heard your name. And that silent road is where expectation is either proved or exposed as fantasy. Anyone can believe while evidence is favorable. Anyone can speak of destiny while doors are opening, while encouragement is near, and while effort is producing visible reward. But when the road becomes quiet, when the letter does not arrive, when the agreement is delayed, when the work receives no recognition, the mind begins to reveal what it truly believes. This is the hour in which you must become deliberate. Do not allow silence to interpret itself. Silence does not mean failure. Delay does not mean rejection. The absence of immediate result does not mean that effort has been wasted. Yet the undisciplined mind rushes to conclusion. It says nothing is happening because nothing is visible. It says the opportunity is gone because the opportunity has not yet appeared in the form expected. You must learn to respect invisible preparation. Roots grow before branches appear. Character forms before responsibility arrives. Reputation begins before the public knows your name. Skill deepens before the result becomes impressive. The world often sees only the final expression, but the law of cause has been operating long before the effect becomes visible. Continue working where no applause exists. This is not blind persistence. It is intelligent faith supported by action. Blind persistence repeats a poor method and calls the repetition loyalty. Intelligent faith remains loyal to purpose while improving method. If results are delayed, examine the plan. Is the service valuable enough? Is the skill strong enough? Is the effort consistent? Is the association sound? Is the timing reasonable? Is the purpose definite? Ask these questions without fear and without self-condemnation. Expectation does not require you to pretend that every plan is perfect. It requires you to remain teachable without becoming defeated. Correct what must be corrected. Do not confuse correction with surrender. The man who acts as if success expects him is not stubborn about methods. He does not continue an ineffective course merely to preserve pride. He welcomes facts because facts help him arrive prepared. Pride says, I must prove my first decision was right. Purpose says, I must find the method that works. Choose purpose. Every delay contains information. It may reveal that preparation is incomplete. It may expose weak judgment. It may show that an associate cannot carry his share. It may demand patience because a sound cause has not yet matured. Do not curse the delay before you understand it. A delayed result may protect you from receiving more than your character can safely direct. Greater success requires greater capacity. If the capacity is weak, success becomes pressure instead of opportunity. The weight you ask for must be matched by the strength you build. This is why you must continue training when no one appears to be watching. Train financial discipline before larger sums arrive. Train emotional steadiness before wider influence arrives. Train accuracy before greater responsibility multiplies the cost of error. The future does not create these qualities for you. It exposes whether you brought them. Act now as though the larger assignment has already been placed in your hands. How would you organize the day? How would you speak? What would you study? What habits would you remove? What standards would become non-negotiable? Do not wait to become that person later. Later is shaped by what you repeatedly practice now. You may say, I will become disciplined when the opportunity comes. But opportunity rarely teaches discipline kindly. It magnifies whatever habit already exists. If you are careless with little, more will give carelessness a larger field. If you are governed by praise, recognition will make you dependent. If you spend to impress, increased income will enlarge the performance. Success multiplies. It may multiply strength. It may also multiply weakness. Prepare the multiplier. One of the greatest tests of expectation is the refusal to live beyond reality for the sake of appearance. Many men wish to act successful and therefore imitate the outward display of prosperity. They increase expense, borrow for appearance, and surround themselves with symbols they have not yet earned. This is not acting as if success expects you. It is acting as if the crowd must be deceived. True expectation does not require display. It requires preparation. The man who expects success may live simply because resources are being directed toward knowledge, enterprise, equipment, and future freedom. He is not ashamed of the present stage. He knows the foundation must be paid for before the structure can rise. Do not spend tomorrow's strength to impress today's observers. The crowd that applauds display will not repay the obligation. It will move toward another spectacle while you remain responsible for the cost. Let appearance follow achievement. Let achievement follow service. Let service follow preparation. This order protects you. Expectation must also be guarded from repeated complaint. Complaint tells the subconscious mind that conditions are master. It focuses attention upon what is missing, who has failed, what is unfair, and why progress is difficult. Complaint may offer brief relief, but it weakens command. Speak about a problem only when speech contributes to solution. Discuss facts with those who can assist. Seek counsel where knowledge is present, but do not make disappointment your daily subject. What you repeat becomes atmosphere. An atmosphere of complaint repels useful cooperation. Serious people become cautious around the man who sees difficulty everywhere and responsibility nowhere. They may sympathize with him, but they hesitate to build with him. Bring a different atmosphere. Acknowledge the obstacle, then ask what can be done. Acknowledge the loss, then ask what remains. Acknowledge the delay, then improve the preparation. This response does not deny reality. It uses reality. The man who expects success becomes known for direction. He does not pretend there is no problem. He prevents the problem from becoming the ruler of the room. People are drawn toward this quality because it creates confidence. Confidence is not always knowing the answer. It is remaining capable of thought while the answer is being found. Develop that capacity. When uncertainty appears, slow down. Gather facts. Separate assumption from evidence. Do not allow another person's panic to become your decision. Calm protects judgment. The hurried man often accepts the first answer because he cannot endure uncertainty. The prepared man can wait long enough for truth to become clearer. Patience is not delay without work. It is work without desperation. You continue studying, improving, and serving while time performs the part that cannot be forced. There will be days when confidence weakens. Do not expect to feel certain at every hour. Feeling changes. Purpose must remain. On weekdays, rely upon habit. Return to the schedule. Complete the duty. Keep the promise. Do not make permanent decisions while temporary discouragement is speaking. Discouragement often arrives after effort has been extended, but before result has become visible. It is the space between planting and harvest. Many men abandon the field there. They do not fail because the soil was barren. They fail because they stopped working while the cause was still maturing. Remain long enough to discover whether the cause is sound. This requires accurate measurement. Do not judge progress only by final reward. Examine whether skill is improving, whether judgment is sharpening, whether trust is increasing, whether service is becoming more useful. These are signs of approach. The public may not see them, but they are part of the result. A reputation for reliability may develop slowly, then suddenly produce several opportunities. Specialized knowledge may seem unrewarded until one difficult problem makes that knowledge valuable. Years of disciplined saving may appear unimpressive until capital creates freedom to act. Causes often accumulate quietly. Then effects appear quickly. The world calls the effect sudden because it did not watch the accumulation. You must not make that mistake about your own progress. Count the invisible gains. Count the promises kept. Count the weaknesses corrected. Count the hours of study. Count the times fear spoke and action still followed. These victories are not substitutes for outer result, but they are the causes from which outer result grows. Expectation becomes powerful when it is supported by such evidence. You no longer say, "I hope I will become ready." You know you are becoming ready because conduct has changed. This produces a different confidence. It is not excitement. It is composure. The excited man announces everything. The composed man protects the work. The excited man wants others to confirm the future. The composed man continues building until the future confirms itself. Speak less about what you intend to do. Do more. Premature discussion may weaken desire because the praise received for the plan gives emotional satisfaction before achievement has been earned. The mind begins feeling rewarded for intention. Protect the energy of the purpose. Share it with those whose knowledge, cooperation, or responsibility matters. Do not place it before every doubtful ear. Some people cannot understand a purpose larger than their own experience. Their criticism may enter before the plan has gained sufficient strength. This does not mean hiding from correction. Seek correction from qualified minds, but do not submit your purpose to the careless judgment of everyone who asks. The seed requires protection before it becomes a tree. Your expectation must also survive association with discouraged people. The minds around you influence the standards you accept. Constant contact with fear, complaint, and defeat may slowly reduce the size of your own aim. Be selective. You need not become cold or superior. Treat people with respect, but do not allow every attitude into the counsel of your mind. Associate where courage is normal, discipline is respected, and improvement is expected. Seek people who discuss ideas, causes, solutions, and service. Their presence will strengthen the identity you are building. The wrong association makes weakness seem reasonable. The right association makes growth feel necessary. Choose carefully, yet never depend entirely upon association for strength. There will be hours when you must stand alone. No advisor can make the decision for you. No friend can perform the discipline. No associate can carry your faith when the purpose is yours. Build inner independence. The man who requires constant encouragement is not yet prepared for leadership. Leadership often means continuing while others are uncertain. It means carrying calm when those around you are afraid. This does not mean pretending you never doubt. It means doubt does not decide. You acknowledge it, examine it, and continue according to principle. Self-command is expectation made visible. When anger rises, you control speech. When fear rises, you gather facts. When temptation rises, you remember purpose. When praise rises, you preserve humility. When delay arrives, you continue useful work. These responses show that you are no longer waiting for success to change your nature. You are changing your nature so success may trust you. Trust is the unseen bridge between preparation and opportunity. People place larger duties where they expect reliability. They recommend the person who completes. They support the person whose enthusiasm has survived difficulty. They invest in the person who communicates clearly and accepts responsibility. Become easy to trust. Do not make others guess whether your word will remain true when conditions change. Do not force them to carry the anxiety created by your inconsistency. If you cannot fulfill a promise, communicate before the failure becomes a surprise. Honesty under difficulty preserves more trust than false appearance. The man who hides bad news weakens association. The man who faces facts strengthens it. Success often arrives through men who have watched how you handled lesser matters. They may never announce that they are examining you. A conversation, a small duty, or a difficult moment becomes evidence. Every meeting may be preparation for an opportunity you cannot yet see. Treat people accordingly. Do not measure courtesy by another person's position. The clerk, messenger, workman, or quiet associate may carry influence, knowledge, or loyalty greater than appearance suggests. But even if he carries none, your conduct toward him is still training your character. Respect is not wasted. It returns through reputation, cooperation, and self-respect. A man who becomes courteous only when advantage appears has not developed personality. He has developed calculation. Success expects character, not performance. This is why you must remain the same in principle when no reward is visible. Keep confidence. Protect agreements. Give credit fairly. Do not exploit weakness because opportunity permits it. Temporary advantage gained through dishonor becomes a long-term liability. The world may forget details, but it remembers the feeling of dealing with you. That feeling influences future doors. Make it one of fairness, steadiness, and useful strength. As delay continues, you may be tempted to reduce the aim. Do not reduce it merely to escape discomfort. Examine whether the purpose remains worthy. If it does, improve your capacity. A worthy purpose may require more time than the ego prefers. Accept that. Time is not the enemy when it is producing death. The greater danger is wasting years moving quickly toward a result that cannot satisfy or endure. Move deliberately. Let each stage prepare the next. Let discipline become so ordinary that success does not disturb it when it arrives. For arrival creates a new test. It is one thing to act as if success expects you while success remains distant. It is another to preserve humility, order, and service when the first rewards begin appearing. The man who has endured silence may become intoxicated